Okay, so this is something I've been working on. I haven't put anything out for a while, and I'll zoom in a minute. My intention was to do a Bryce Canyon scene with maybe a sunset. And as I was going through this, and I'm going to do a demonstration on the sky and some work here, but and I'll zoom in just a minute. But as I was working and thinking, all of a sudden I came up with an idea of making a sunset and a night scene. Now, sometimes they work out, sometimes they don't. But as I was thinking, I was looking at the rocks below, and I'll zoom in here, and they had just an eerie glow. So what I was going to do was just put in a moon. So I put this. I just made it kind of a little circular moon shape because I didn't want to just paint the moon somewhere, so I can just move it around, see if it looked better over here, or part of it just showing through, peeking through, making the glow on this, or over the mountains, or coming up this way, which I kind of like right there. I'm going to do a quick demonstration because I was going to use a larger one to see what that looked like. So this is the way I did this. So now I do have a compass, but sometimes unless I wanted a perfect circle, I would use actually a compass or something like that, or there's a lot of ways to make a circle. But this is just a simple version, so if I wanted to make a larger one, I would just kind of do that, or maybe just slightly bigger. And I could do several different variations on that. Now I'm going to just zoom in a little bit so you can see what I'm talking about. So I'm still using kind of a loose technique, but then I go in with the detail. And you can see that eerie glow of the rocks. Looks like maybe the sun is setting further up and it's just glowing even more. But the rock, the blue background was just ultramarine, and then used a toothbrush to put the stars in, and it just requires just layers. But then this is the way it starts off. It's just a light wash and then more layers and layers and layers, and then adding the detail. But then as the image kind of went from a sunset, all of a sudden my mind takes a different avenue, and I thought of heaven and hell because of the glow. And also it's just a juxtaposition of two different forms or two different directions. There's all kind of terms for this also. Maybe a multi-universe type thing, or in that direction. But I'm going to give a demonstration on how to do the sunset. So let me kind of bring this up more here. And this is just a small little kind of image, but it can't take too long because of the time element. So hopefully just by doing this quick little demonstration, you can see what I'm talking about. So this is the way I kind of did the sky. Now this is the ultramarine. So what I'm doing is I'm coming in with the blue pretty quick, Now you have to visualize that this is the bigger one. So I'm not going through everything here. And nature is random. So keep that in mind when you're doing these things. Don't try to think about it too much, and it'll just make you crazy. Then came in with a little left holes in here. So then I can come in and throw some orange in different locations. Towards the bottom, it had more of a yellow. So I would start that with a yellow and just make it lighter. And this is the way I did this painting for the sunset. I do kind of use two different methods. I do a loose for some things and a kind of tight detail because I'm a scientific illustrator. So, but you know, both methods are ways I kind of paint. So sometimes it's not just all loose like most paintings are. It's fluid sometimes and then detailed, both of them. But it's still trying to teach because of my background. I still wanted to be a teacher, and my scientific background is kind of, and this is pretty much the way I did. Now at this point, there's two ways I could have done the darker clouds. It could have been just a Payne's gray, which I use a lot. And it's just, you can see I'm just kind of going random, just letting it kind of take a mind of its own. But I decided to use a violet purple just to break things up. Anyway, so that's kind of the way I did the sky. You know, it's kind of a rush job, but it just to give you the essence of how I did the sky. So, you know, you could always come back and make it a little bit darker. Because, you know, that's kind of, and let things bleed through. Anyway, so that's the demonstration of the sunset. Now, I'm going to do a little demonstration on the rocks. Now, this is my technique, so if yours is different, that's perfectly fine. So I'm just kind of coming in with a red orange over the lighter orange in here and trying to just let things happen. Now, this is the way and this is kind of important because this is the way I do rocks too. It's just kind of random. And all these random marks will kind of drive me to doing another version of this. So I'm not trying to copy a photograph. It's just letting my hands go. So there's little rock inclusions. You can see this going this direction. And I'm just following those because nature is random and you want something that is not too thought out. I know some of that doesn't make sense to a lot of people. This is the essence of Bryce Canyon. No one's going to kind of go over there and say, oh, you missed a little crevice over here, and this is the way it's done. And so you can see I'm just kind of moving fast, looking for these little inclusions. And you can see it's a nice little highlight in there. It has a little darkness in here. And I'm just following what I see here to make the rocks. I may leave that one alone because it's a nice reflection on the sunset, making it darker against the highlights of these. And maybe I'm seeing on this little section right here, just bringing out some highlights because of the coloration and the sunset reflecting on the rock formations. It's all these little things that it's random, but it's kind of thought out way before, because this is my intention to do a Bryce Canyon, because that's my go-to place. It changes constantly with the sunlight. Anyway, you can see the difference of this. Now, I haven't put anything out for a long time. And I was putting out a lot, but I'm figuring people really don't like my work, or they share my work, because even though I have only 160 followers, most of my paintings and demonstrations only receive somewhere of 75 to maybe 150, or even less sometimes. And I'm slowly kind of getting to a point where maybe I'm going the wrong direction. I know I can't compete with people pouring paint and different colors and using a hairdryer to move them around. And that may be the trend of painting and watercolors today, but I'm just trying to do more detailed and loose demonstrations, trying to cover every subject from dinosaurs and whales and scientific flowers and things I've done in the past from my background as a museum scientific illustrator and sculptor. So I don't show very many sculptures that I've done. They're at the zoo in Los Angeles and the aquarium, but I was doing watercolor demonstrations because watercolor is the most difficult medium in existence. I could do anything in acrylics, but I was always hitting a wall with watercolors. And you can see all the details starting to happen now. Anyway, so I'm gonna maybe just see what happens with these two paintings that I've been showing, and if no one really cares about my work, I may just slow down in sharing. So anyway, so if I don't see you for a while, have a good day and take care. Hello, I'm Steve Melendres, a model maker, illustrator, scientific illustrator, sculptor, design natural history museum in Los Angeles. Done a lot of different things, but I'm going to be doing watercolor demonstrations of the techniques I've developed over the years, and it's going to go from a lot of different directions. And also I'm going to be doing videos, I call them video posters for my daughter. So a lot of stuff that I can leave to my daughter about her crazy dad. So I'm taking a lot of different directions, but mainly three. So anyway, that's my introduction that I'm going to attach to everything I'm doing now, so I don't have to repeat this. Be careful out there.